Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and I have completed every Festival Legends achievement, and I've documented my tips and tricks, my recommended decks, my strategies to complete every single one to help you earn over 16,000 XP you can use on the rewards track to get extra gold, packs, whatever you want, whatever's out there. And I have a Google Doc even made, it's in the description below, that outlines all the achievement descriptions, all the breakdowns of the XP, points, deck codes. It would mean a lot to me if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with other people because it takes a long time to put this together and I would really appreciate it. But before we get into the breakdown of all the different achievements, I just want to make note that these achievements are only completable in certain modes. They only count in ranked ladders, so that'd be standard or wild. Casual does not count. Friendly games do not count. Tavern Brawl do not count. It's only the ranked mode, except for the exceptions of the arena. You happen to draft these cards, something like that in the arena, it will count, as well as one thing I will recommend, casual and heroic duels. Mainly recommend casual duels. If you put cards from the most recent expansion in your deck, you may be offered buckets with Festival Legends cards that maybe you're missing one of these key legendaries. You could try and manipulate it and get one of those so you can try and do it there. It doesn't cost anything other than your time to do casual duels, so that is a recommendation. And a quick note, all of these decks are recommended through wild decks, as wild has like the biggest breadth of cards for me to use for these, but always feel free to adapt these for standard if you don't have the wild cards, but you can kind of get the general idea of the strategies. So let's start off with the Deathlight achievement, starting off with a giant following. Summon a 10/10 or bigger undead with Arcanite Ripper. Basically, I had a Blood Death Knight deck where you just restored a bunch of health over and over. In wild, you can actually play, it's now since been corrected. When I was playing this, it was bugged. You can use like a cheaty ankle biter, which will double dip and help you out. But overall, it's not too hard. Blood Boil also now gives multiple procs, whereas when I did this, it didn't. So you should be able to make a bigger minion a little bit easier. Next, we have Jack of All Runes, cast Climatic Necrotic Explosion with every number 7 or more. I played a bad Rainbow Deathlight. There's no good Rainbow Deathlight. You really want to try and get Malignant Horrors to stick on the board to basically get those buffs. You really need to consume those corpses. This one's awkward because the health and the attack buff separately, and yeah, this one's pretty rough, and hopefully you get there because it's not a very easy one. And then Wall of Death, it basically gives 90 minions death rattles with Death Growl. I played like a Death Rattle, Death Knight, and you can put Wand Makers in there. They add random 1-cost spells to your hand. There's not that many, so you might be able to get it, but try to discover spells. I also multitask with other achievements along the way. It's more of a grind one, so yeah, get your finale cards in there, get your roadie card in there, maybe try and chip away at other achievements while you do it. But yeah, it's more of a grind one. Demon Hunter, we have Active Octave, draw 8 or more cards with 1 Glaive Tower. Let's play Outcast Demon Hunter. You're gonna get this one done pretty easily. Like, you can basically sabotage yourself, you're not gonna win, but drawing 8 cards with all the cheap Outcast cards, really not difficult at all. Piercing Frequencies, play a 10/10 or bigger Snakebite. You can just play like a rushed Demon Hunter, but I put Mad Summoner in the deck just so my opponents actually had to play, you know, if they didn't play minions, it would go off. So I played Mad Summoner, basically blow up the board, and then play Snakebite. It was big, and it worked pretty well. So that is certainly a strategy if you want to use it. And then Smashing, equip 30 weapons with Instrument Smasher. This is really annoying. You have to have a weapon equipped, and then break it while attacking, that it will destroy it. You can't just re-equip weapons or anything like that, destroy it that way. That won't work. You literally have to attack, break the weapon, then it'll be equipped with Instrument Smasher. It takes a while. I couldn't find a fast way to do it, and that's all I can really say. For Druid, we have Breaths of the Wild. Draw or discover 16 different beasts with Peaceful Piper. I just played a, you know, Beast Druid, whatever, just discover different beasts. You're going to draw a few out. I multitask with the Hero Power Druid achievement, but yeah, just once you're done, keep track of, like, you know, what ones you've discovered, what you haven't. You'll get it done eventually. Sold Out Show, summon 7 ancients with 1 Timber Tambourine. Another one where it's just multitasking, basically just playing, you know, not too many expensive cards, but enough to get the Timber Tambourine to go off. And important to note, your board could be completely full when you break the 7/7/7s. It will still count. You don't have to worry about emptying your board when the weapon breaks. And we have Shifting Shapes, trigger the effects of Free Spirit, Groovy Cat 300 times. I built more specific one to get this one, basically like Umbra and like Terran Gorfine, ways of like just mass duplicating the effects. In duels, you could try and get, well, actually, they banned one of these cards in duels, so it won't be as good, but you could get like the Death Rattle Reborn thing, but that won't work quite as well. But overall, it takes a while, but using like N'Zoth and all that can get it going, and also you can get a really massive hero power, and it's cool. I even ran Guff and Malfurion just so I could actually hero power. After I'd guffed, I'd play Malfurion to get that big attack. Next we have Hunter with monkeys. Feed a banana from a bunch of monkey from a barrel. So you have to use the banana on the monkey from the barrel. You can also use the Naga to double up the banana spell. You use it on the first one, it'll add the next one that'll have 2 more bananas left, so that helped me really get that one a lot faster. We have the Mighty Jungle, summon a 10-cost beast with Jungle Hammer. Just did like the same style deck, right? The bananas, the barrels work really well with it. This one's really not that difficult. It's got to cast 9 spells while playing Jungle Hammer. And then Beastly Boys, resurrect 50 mana worth of beasts with 1 Strangle Thorn Heart. I just put like Ultra Sword, like Dark Moon Rabbit. I put all the 10-cost beasts, try to cheat them out, and then play the spell. And this spell cost 10 when I played it. It's 8 mana now, so hopefully it's a little bit easier. But yeah, good luck with it. It's not that bad, but you got to get 5 of them back, right? 5 10 drops, and I didn't bother with 7 drops or anything like that because it could just backfire and all that. Anyways, Mage, we have on repeat cast Infatize the Maxitude 6 times in a single game. Just play the card or discover it and do it 6 times. There's really no explicit strategy for it. It's not that hard to do. Even if you just discover the card, which is pretty easy to discover. Do the waveform, summon 20 total stats or more with a single cosmic keyboard. I just play like a big spell weapon mage, very similar to like the old big spell mage, where it's run a lot of cheap minions to try and keep yourself alive. Tutor out the weapon with instrument tech, and then just play a bunch of big spells to do it, hopefully keep you alive. And it really was not that difficult. And then destroy them with lasers, shoot 300 beams with light show. Works with Quest Mage. I put it in a wild Quest Mage with infinite Romaths, and it gets done pretty darn quick because it does count from Romath. Paladin is going clubbing, give minions +80/+80 with Disco Mall, play Pure Paladin. The card's busted, you'll get it done, just spam minions. Like, you just don't have to work too hard for this one. Dancing Queen, summon a minion with 8 or more attack with Lead Dancer. So you gotta make Lead Dancer have basically, what, 9 attacks? So I played Prismatic Lens with only Lead Dancer and an 8 mana 8/8 like minion in my deck, and just hope to win, like get the Prismatic Lens, get the Lead Dance for dirt cheap, buff it, and then have it die. Took like 2 games of trying, but you gotta hit the Prismatic Lens on the right minion and also not die in that time. So it can be a little bit tricky, but Prismatic Lens is a great way to get achievements done with Paladin. And then Don't Stop Believing, give your hero Divine Shield with Starlight Groove 100 times. Holy Paladin worked well, where I just tutored it out with Stonehearth Vindicator and ran it as my only like spell that costs 3 or less, so I would reliably draw it and just discover and spam holy spells. And it's really annoying, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And Kingsbane Rogue, I could tell you, does not like this achievement because they really struggle to get through that Divine Shield. For Priest, my Hearth will go on, have 1 Love Everlasting for 8 turns in a row, I believe. Control Priest, just play Control Priest. You'll get it done eventually. Just draw it early and try and live for like 8 turns. And it didn't take me too many tries. Like, comment, and subscribe. Restore 150 health with Fan Club. Kind of double dipped on this with the Fight Over Me achievement, where I ran multiple locations and basically tried to discover more of those locations with the 4-drop Dispossessed Soul, I believe it's called, and also discover more Fight Over Me's for Jealous Much, where you destroy 60 minions with Fight Over Me. And yeah, just spam that a bunch. I even multitasked other achievements along the way. You can do some other stuff like Wild Pyro, damage minions, but overall 150 goes pretty quickly, even if you're just healing your hero and a couple of minions. For Rogue, we had the epic rap battle of Bling story. Basically destroy an opponent holding MC Blingtron's microphone with your own microphone. This used to work on any minion, and now it doesn't. You have to kill the hero with that Blingtron dagger. Let's play any aggressive Rogue deck and just slam Blingtron when you need to kill your opponent. It won't take that long. I recommend like Pirate Rogue, Kingsbane Rogue, whatever you want, it'll work. It took me literally 1 game to do. Your Spaghetti, discover 20 legendary cards with mixtape. This does work with the Shadow of Demise, where that'll count as an extra mixtape. I also try to use the Infuse card to get extra copies here or there, or even like the Nobleman to get golden copies in my hand. But overall, pretty good in Wild, where there's a lot of quest decks and the legendary cards count. So that's pretty cool. And you can even try and complete a quest. You never know. And then Boots and Cats and destroy 60 enemies with Beatboxer. Just play Beatboxer, tutor it like your only minion, and just shadow step it and bounce it a lot and kill stuff. You're probably never going to win with this strat. I didn't, but you will certainly kill minions, and that's pretty good. And if it lives and trades into another minion or an enemy, the hero, and kills it, that also does count. For Shaman, you have playing the scales, play the saxophone soloist 5 turns in a row. Soloist spell Shaman, this multitasks on a couple of achievements, but basically just spam the soloist. They suck. You're probably going to lose because you're doing it, but as long as you just keep playing them every turn, you're probably going to be okay. Also helps with achievement later as well. Stack lineup, summon 3 legendary minions with 1 pack the house. Pure random. I don't know if Wild's better for this, Standard's better for this, no idea, but play the spell and hope to summon 3 legendaries. This took me way too long, but it did happen, and yeah, it's purely random, so good luck with that. Mellow Manicule Laughter, I butchered that. Cast 60 spells created by a Melomania. Again, I just put it with the whole soloist stuff, and also pack the house and just try to get more pack the houses that way, and yeah, just spam a bunch of cheap minions and play the spells. It works out pretty well. Warlock has Urge to Dirge, summon 150 mana worth of demons with Dirge of Despair. So play expensive demons, get the spell off. Tansman, if you have it, you can play it, and she gets it in your hand for 0 mana. She can hit herself and also summon the demon, and if you hit her with the 6 mana one, she will give you the 0 mana one before she dies, so that works out pretty well. It doesn't take too long. Again, you're probably not going to win. I like to movement, play all 7 Symphony of Sin movements in 1 game. Try to control Warlock. I got it done in like a couple of games, but this one is tricky because you got to survive to do it, and you also have to hope your opponent doesn't concede if you're a winning spot and playing all this stuff, right? It's very win more to play all of them, so you could try like the old quest Warlock and make them cost 0, but I just play like a control Warlock, and it did happen relatively quickly. And then we have Perish Song, prevent 200 damage with Fellstring Harp. So I played like a fatigue Warlock, but I also played like the 4 mana pirate that re-equips a weapon. So you can do it a bunch, and you can raise dead him and then re-equip him and get more. And it also helps, by the way, to face Curse Warlocks, because they scale and it works for your weapon, which is pretty nice. But this one, again, didn't take too long. Warriors got some of the worst ones, but they'll be a little bit easier, hopefully, with the recent buffs. With Encore, finale 6 rifts in 1 game. So you got to finale all of them. Finale all of them. Even the first one, even though it doesn't give you anything, make sure to finale it, and it works. So as long as you finale all of them, the first one won't give you that bonus, but it will still count as a finale. That works, and I just try to riff Blackrock Warrior, just whatever deck you can put riffs in, it really doesn't matter. Boone's Boon, play 20 minions buffed by Blackrock and roll that cost 8 or more. I played like this big warrior to just stay alive, and it worked. It actually went pretty quickly, a lot faster than I thought, but you're really going to need your wild cards to make this one work, or just, yeah, spam the more, Black Rock and Roll decks in Standard that don't really exist. And the crowd goes wild, draw 6 or more cards with a single Roaring Applause. Really easy with Menagerie Warrior. There's so many like amalgams and stuff in particular in Wild. This one took me, I think, 1 game to get done. And then the neutral achievements. Closing Act triggered 200 finale effects. I just put all the finale cards into Warrior. You could try it with the riffs, right? Try and do the riff one, but Warrior's got the most finale cards, so I just finished it off with that. And this was the last achievement I had to get done. Didn't get done naturally with the other ones. When push comes to shove, attack 120 times with the Mishmash Mosher. I did this with a Ramp Druid. Twig Sphere wasn't nerfed at the time and made it a little bit easier, but you can still do that kind of ish. But basically, make it go immune. With Attorney at Maw, it will not die, and then it will attack the entire board. And you can play Mad Summoner in there if your opponent's not playing minions. You got Guff and all of that, right? You can play enough mana. And yes, it's a little bit harder now with the Twig nerf, but make it immune, and Mad Summoner can help a lot. Not a Rapper though. Cast 100 fire spells created by Pyrotechnician. I did like a Miracle Spell Priest. I had one game where I did basically 50 spells. They were just all 0 and just kept spamming over and over with Nazmani Radiant. A really efficient way of doing that one. Surfs up, past Crowd Surfer's Death Rattle between you and your opponent 80 times. Again, I multitask with Spell Priest. You can bring them back, resurrect them, and you're not going to win doing that, but you'll pass them back and forth, and that's pretty good. Happy Harmony, cast 50 harmonic spells. You'll pretty much just get this one done over time. There's really no specific strategy for it, just play harmonic spells. Same with Deadly Dissonance, cast 50 dissonance spells. Same thing, just do it over time. It shouldn't be that difficult. Those cards aren't that bad. You wouldn't download a card, draw 75 cards with Tony King of Piracy. I did the Miracle Druid like Auctioneer. Again, Twig Sphere wasn't nerfed, but this one you kind of want to Auctioneer first and get your mana anyways, like Bio Project. So it basically still works where, yeah, you just draw your deck, you play your Tony King of Piracy, and you just spam 0 mana cards and then draw a bunch of them and then move on, right? Like that's all you really do. It works. It just doesn't work as well since the nerf. Record deal, discover 60 spells with Ghost Rider. I just multitask with this with Death Rattle Death Knight to try and get more of like the discover spell to get the Death Rattle stuff. But you can play this, just play Death Knight, right? Like you're probably playing that already in Death Knight, but that's what I did. All eyes on me. Trigger the battle cry effect of 140 soloists. Again, soloist Shaman, it's the best soloist to repeat. You're not going to win, but you're going to get a lot of progress very quickly. Azeroth got talent. Discover 16 unique cards from ETC. Just put ETC in any deck and just make sure to discover 16 unique cards. Keep track of it. You'll get it done. That's all you got to do. Mash up artists. Gain all 8 bonus effects with a single 1 amalgam band. Menagerie Warrior. Again, the best way to do it. Shouldn't take too many tries. The deck's not that bad. And yeah, you just spam a bunch of different amalgams. You'll get it there. You requested it. Destroy the enemy hero with Freebird. I did a Freebird Druid where Twig Sphere wasn't nerfed. With like Splinter Graft on the Freebird, Aviata, complete shenanigans. I don't know a great way of doing this. If you want to share recommendations in the comments below, maybe some strategy with Step in Rogue, but I just did Druid garbage with Ixalan. These are all cards you don't want to craft for it. So yeah, I don't have a great strategy on this one other than trying to bounce it with Rogue, or if you have the cards I had a Druid, do a pretty cool combo. And lastly, if it ain't broke, break 30 of Worgen Roadie's instrument cases. Again, Instrument Smasher DK. I just threw it in there, and that one took a while to get done, so I just got that one done at the same time. Maybe you want to do it in Rogue with Shadow Step and bounce it and keep breaking those cases a bunch. That could be probably pretty helpful, but there you go. Those are my tips and recommendations for the achievements. Good luck on the achievement hunt, and hopefully you can gain some XP on your rewards track journey. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.